Thiago, keep the ball in the ground!
Jackie McNamara! Wow!
Housewife's favourite, mate, back in the day.
Superstar.
Many bedroom had your poster up on it.
We had him up.
Did you?
Aye, every room.
Poster in every room. How you doing, mate? Alright?
Good, mate. Aye, all good.
What's happening in my life just now?
I'm enjoying life. Still lucky to be here. Enjoying going to watch the football games and without any pressure with it or any, the management side. I don't miss that, but I enjoy watching the games now just to take it in.
See if you can get this right, used to. His daughter goes out with a football player. Who is it? What teams he play for?
No idea.
Not done your research for your man, look.
I don't know.
Crack wee player as well, isn't he?
Good player,
Can't name.
Oh, Erdy?
Mm-hmm.
He is good.
Really good. Did he get married?
Boy. In the summer, aye.
Is he a nice boy, is he?
Aye. Rangers fan, a nice boy.
How did that go? Did alright?
Aye, he was alright. Gone alright with him.
Do you know me and Jackie worked with each other before? At Thistle? Do you remember that?
I do remember it well.
How bad was he?
Do you know what? He was a talent.
Oh, good.
Talent. He was. I thought he'd been brilliant for us. But there's a wee thing called fitness was an issue.
Was he a lazy bastard?
No, I thought he were ripped up for us. We took him on loan for Celtic. And saying that he said there, his speed and I thought he would have ripped it up.
But he didn't.
He didn't.
You should some
wee bits he came on though and changed games and stuff like that.
Do you know who loved you? And it's an own goal favourite. I don't know if the feelings are reciprocated, but Cal Naismith loved you. Cal loved you.
Did he?
Aye.
I'd have wee run-in with him as well.
What?
No, he was just, we were doing the team talks and that, he was eating a pizza. It was after one of the games, I was coming into the dressing room, I'm talking and he's like that, sitting with the pizza. He's like a choice to take him back.
So he was on loan for Rangers as well?
Rangers, him, Kyle Hutton and Darren Cole. Done well.
Oh, Darren, how's he not nuts as well, Darren Cole?
Aye, especially Freedom McGillar, I know.
Mother, how
Kyle's a nice boy, he done well in his career later on, and he settled down and had a decent career.
If you had to compare him to one of the Celtic players that you played with, who would it be?
To him?
Compare him to
Don't think there's any.
Bobby Pett has got to be in it.
Do you remember what happened to you with the first wee bit?
Nah.
When you came out the team? It was like, where's Slaney?
Oh no.
Do you know, remember?
No.
I was like, because I said to Chris, I said, oh, he's fit, Jack, he's done the bleep test and all that, and I came in, and it was like first training session, I went, he's miles off it, said, blowing out his backside, just a high intensity
My heart's
possession.
pounding now, and I mean
And he was
pounding.
right there, and because I thought he'd be class for us, and so I'd used to have the wee women come in and do all their diets and everything, even back then, and that was there. His diet was, 2 Powerades for breakfast, and do you remember? 2 Powerades, I was like that, 2 Powerades. I don't really have breakfast, 2 Powerades, sugar. What about lunch? We got dinner at lunch at Lennoxtown, which was good.
3 Powerades for lunch.
And at night, would you have for your dinner at night? I don't know, Haribo's and that.
You're a player,
And
man.
then 2 days later, he's off getting 6 teeth out. You know what I mean? Missed the game.
That's what I mean.
Apart for that, he was brilliant.
Was he good about the place?
He was brand new.
That was a good team, Jackie. That was a right good team, that Thistle team.
It was a lot of boys that, went round all the under-20s games and didn't have a big budget and give them all a second chance.
Who recommended him to you? Was it Lenny?
No, I used to go and watch all the games.
Alright.
Me and Sid used to go and watch all the under-20s, so we took...
See, when you asked
Stephen-
Lenny, did you need to ask Lenny about getting him? Can you remember that conversation there? That'd have been a good conversation, I
I
think.
don't know if it was to Chris McCart, I don't know. Can't remember.
Let you
But
do
Chris said, you let yourself down, you should have had a top career.
Oh, there you go.
I love that. I
Should
don't
have-
love it that I let myself down.
Yeah,
I love that he said that.
I think like all kids, you'd think there, you need the opportunity, you need the right environment, the right guidance, to make it. And sometimes it's hard coming through. You're a young kid at Celtic, the demands and to get an opportunity. I think it's
Jackie,
no easy.
Can you remember him training with you?
aye. He used to get slaughtered for his Barnet.
Constantly, mate.
He's a cheeky wee Italian, but
Was he,
a good player.
You had the same, cup fringe, didn't you, when you were playing? But it was like pure high and a
Who would give you the
Big
most?
shot.
John Robertson hated it, mate. He used to try and tell us to cut the hair off. But I remember Larsson one day came up to us, probably the only time you ever spoke. John Robertson, get your hair cut, and he's like, don't get your hair cut. You don't have your hair like that, you have your hair like
That's
that.
the class, isn't it?
Amazing, mate. Pure goosebumps, man. But that team was fucking brilliant, man. They were brilliant with us as young kids.
They were, as I said, it was a tough dressing room. You know what I mean? Like the sutties and anything at all, any affliction, it was out there every day.
Do you remember Sutty terrorising us? Constant, wasn't it?
Used to say he used to go and goals for a penalty. If he saved the penalty, he could drive his Lexus for a week and all that.
And then he just let it in the top bin and walked away.
Right, you save this, we put you in and that. He was funny. He was funny. Funny, good dressing room.
I got a lift in his Lexus once and he's like that, just staring at you while he was driving. And you were so uncouth. I go, bet you've never been in a fucking car this big, have you?
It must have been hard for the youngins, you know what I mean, and that to come into that environment with them. I remember as a young kid it was Dunfermline, you know, it was senior players and you're like looking round, you know, but for you it must have been torture.
See, when you watch something on the telly and that, I wouldn't imagine him being like that.
Funniest.
I know what you mean, aye.
He'd look at you like, you fucking ugly. Such an ugly kid you've got.
There's a lot of them in that team, the winter, like Lenny, Hartson, Tom. There's a lot of big personalities here.
Mate, see if you're on the bus for the first team game, you got made like the 21st, 22nd man. He'd walk on the bus and you'd obviously be sitting like the second one. He got that. Oh my God, this club fuck. This club must be really struggling.
That's what I'm saying. Every game we was on the bus and it was like you just sit there and we'd go into before the match and like, oh, we're going to get humped today. I don't fancy us. Look, we're shit. You know, all that stuff.
We're fucking shit.
Just like the psychology of going into the game.
He would do it Rangers games not as well.
Every game. Got
a really bad feeling about it.
Oh no, they're really good. You know, they're shit. We're going to get humped.
How was
shut up, sorry.
How was Henrik with the younger boys?
Never really said much to him.
He's quiet.
Remember Steve Alford used to walk in and go, everyone be at Barrowfield for 10 o'clock, Henrik, you can come when you want.
Aye.
But everyone just had that hang about. Him and Lambo used to play pool together, didn't they?
Aye.
We'd make them like cups of teas and coffees, but he wouldn't say much to you.
But was he money in training that, would he?
No.
Not really bother him?
No, he wasn't money. I think he just quite quiet. I mean, he's quiet, just got on with it. Just, I think when he first came in, he was good, but every year just get better and better. I always say it's like he's golf. They come in, all the foreign boys, when they come in, they don't play golf. They're like handicaps are like 28 and all that. Then within a year, they're all better than you in single figures. And Henrik just went like, his whole game was like world class.
He battered the snooze, didn't he?
Eh? Aye.
He used to like that. He was the first I seen him and Mjallby used to batter, and then Lenny got it.
Johan used to have it, and he gave me it one time in Dublin. We were out a weekend, we were away in Dublin, that was me, finished.
But the game?
It was at weekend at Burnley's.
Sid was greeting, wasn't he? Sid was greeting.
Sid was trying to pull me out and I was stuck in the toilet just like that. Couldn't move. I've never smoked or anything like that, so I think for somebody that doesn't smoke, it just finished.
Do you know what Larsson was, mate? Ripped, wasn't he? He was the first lad, because you'd had Big John and Sutton was a wee bit, but Larsson was fucking the first you'd see like ripped, mate.
Rab Thompson, remember the sports science had 3 fingers? He said Larsson had the best jump. Do you remember, Rab? He did the 3 fingers. I don't know if he had 3 fingers, but he shook your horn with 3. But he said to me, he came to Motherwell and he said to me Larsson had the best jump at the club by a mile.
I remember.
I know his jump was incredible, but I remember him telling us that.
That was some team, mate, honestly.
It was very good. No, I used to say all the time about that team. It's like with Martin and Neil's Celtic team, like you'd have the fear every time Celtic got a set piece. They just had so many monsters at corners and free kicks.
I think I was the exception.
But you were aggressive, man.
Aye, it was there, but you were just kind of cover or sweep up. But I went up for corners. You know what I mean? So they had enough big guys who were up there, Bobo and Sutty, Larsson, Hartson. You know, they a real threat every game.
Hartson used to tell you he broke the transfer record every club he signed for. What do you think of that, son? So he used to say, mate.
Who was better at Hartson than Sutton?
Oh, Sutton by a mile.
Sutton, aye.
Sutton was a joke.
Sutton dropped into centre half and that was
Sutton was a good player.
He used to
Big John, by the way, and John was quality and all though. Yeah, I mean, different type. If he got close to him, he'd just pin defenders, like top defenders. Champions League, he'd just pin them. Couldn't move them. But finishing wise, he was class, you know.
What about when Bobo cracked in the dressing room? Were you still there then?
We still in?
Petrov,
aye.
Petrov was a money bastard, wasn't he?
Aye, but in fairness, that one, wee Lenny was giving it coming off the park. I think Hibs scored late on. I think it was Wee Bruni actually, near the end of the season, and I think Wee Bruni scored the winner. They broke away for the corner, and it was coming off, and then Lenny's been giving Bobo it. And to be fair, I don't think it was Bobo's fault. I would normally say it was, not to his face obviously, but and then Stillian piped up and kept going, and Bobo's like, "Shut up, Stillian," and he just kept going. It was like the Hulk. Everybody was trying to stop him, getting to him. You know, like Big Rab, Sutty, Tomo was hiding in his locker.
He flung somebody in the locker.
Did they get to him though?
No, it was eight folk in front of him. John Robertson was one, and he actually, because I sat across the other side, and Robbo's went over the treatment table in the middle of the dressing room and like that in front of me, just like flung away.
I think it was Jim Henry that maybe eventually got...
Jim was there.
Jim was a fucking
and
big
Martin,
boy.
Like, honestly, I've never seen like it, and he just made it like, it was like, honestly, it was like the Hulk. If he'd got Stillian, he was gone.
What was Martin O'Neill? Was he shouting?
He was just, no, just to that point. And he just
He'd been
like,
jumping, I'm doing it.
He just like rather roar. And he just turned round and he booted the thing in his bag and he went away into the shower area, and everybody was like, fucking hell. What was... And then it was just silence, you know what I mean? Nobody knew what to say or to. Then he's went in the shower and he came back, and then he's came back in, it's quiet, and Stillians went to go to speak to him, and he's just like...
Not interested. Well, I'm going to come to that team just the last bit. Did they know, did Sutton know used to, and Tomo used to abuse Jonathan Gould?
Everybody did to be Gould.
Did they know cut his gloves? They know he had to start for like 100 games or so. Finally he went to put his gloves on like 5 minutes before the game, and he'd cut one of his gloves.
Put their finger on it.
Gould was brilliant, man. Great guy.
Was he?
Brilliant guy.
Tony Warner as well, remember that thing?
Oh, he was at Blackpool when I was there?
Oh, was he? Right, we're going to cut to football, but we'll like to get to know you as a guy. Anything that annoys you in life, mate? In football, outside of football?
Just now in football? I think passing the ball back to the goalies and the centre halves does my head in now.
Do you hate it?
Aye.
I don't know. You'll be right involved with you.
Imagine passing it back to Big Rab every 2 minutes.
That's honestly. I know it's...
That was how Big Rab kicked the ball, wasn't it?
Possession based. It wasn't as bad as Jim Leighton. Ever seen Jim Leighton kick the ball?
No, could you not kick it either?
You must have carpet
I know,
punch.
mate, my jeans are fucked after that. Rab's knees must be fucked when he's kicking the ball at it.
It's the way he turned to the side like that and he's running up. The big man, he'll battle me for saying
Same here, he'll fucking do me in, man.
He was ripped on, wasn't he? Big
He held, I was a cheeky wee bastard, mate. He held me down at Barrafield, mate, for 10 minutes. No joke, mate, like fucking strangling, man. My face was pink. The strongest man of all time, man, wasn't he?
He's a big
Mate,
lad,
that kick was fucking brilliant.
Was amazing.
That was his goal kicks, mate, honestly. They used to have
It's a bit short there. The brown boots.
He wore Umbro XCIs, actually looked like these. What, and then outside the football?
Don't know, just the modern person, the woke. So that does my head. I'm hoping it's going to swing back the other way. I think it will, I know. Because we go through different bits in society and in life, and I think it will come back and people can say what they want without worrying about it.
Well, we do kind of, didn't we? Yeah.
Aye.
We say what we like, but you get a lot of this.
I think it's a bit too far.
Your dad was over at the tennis Radicano game.
No,
That's what I'm saying, but the generation, how it's changed with things. Well, even like I love comedies. You know, you see like things like Little Britain 10 years ago. You can't see now.
Aye, when they see that.
Fools and Horses, you can't. They don't put it on. The best comedy ever, Fools and Horses. Don't put on Netflix now because he'll say certain things that it's not appropriate. And today, it's just went too far for me.
No, I watched the other day an audience with Billy Connolly. Oh my god.
Incontinence pants. It's like that Douglas had to go kit.
So good, man.
That's amazing, that audience with Billy Connolly.
It's so good.
Yeah, maybe it's a sign of me getting old as well, though. You know what I mean? You get people older, start moaning about, and back in our day, so maybe that's in my 50s now, so maybe that.
My daddy's in his 50s. And anything for you, sweet lads? Any annoyed just?
No, that I can think of, to be honest.
I was getting booed at the darts.
The darts was amazing, Andy.
Amazing.
I cut my pals there, I loved it.
That was
brilliant.
incredible. I was to get booed walking it.
They said that you were good.
Oh, he was amazing, mate.
Horrible feeling.
Good. And they said you were mad at it.
Steaming. Mate, he had the crowd, honestly, jumping. He was brilliant.
See, when I get out in that stage, you're just a different person.
Well, can I tell you exactly what my pal said, right? And you'll back this up. He says, Slaney didn't say a word. His usual self, as soon as he got on the stage, mental, as soon as he was half big, come down again.
I just bolted again.
I just bolted.
What did you pour over your head?
What?
What did you pour over your head when you got on stage?
A pint.
A pint of what?
I don't know, but I was so sticky the whole night. See that when I was throwing darts, I could feel my arms were like you could actually hear the stickiness. Oh, it was horrible.
I've got one, and I've said it on here before. Do you watch Steve McManaman commentate Real Madrid Man City? No. Mate, we know you played for Real Madrid, right? Fucking calm down. See when Real Madrid scored their 2 and he went, and that's now advantage Los Blancos.
It's...
What are you doing, man?
I don't mind, Steve.
Los Blancos, though, in a Spanish accent. Come on, fuck, Steve.
No,
I must say you're nothing.
I don't mind Macca. I think the reason that he maybe does do that, because I don't think he gets appreciated enough what he done at Real. So I think maybe when he's on that commentary, he's trying to let people know. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't think he's really people.
Nah, he's a good player, to be fair.
You played against him in that UEFA Cup game, though.
He scored that equaliser.
Would he have been the winger and you were a fullback?
No, I was playing as a winger then.
Oh, were you right?
Aye. Well, wing back, wing nut. That game.
That's a graveyard shift, isn't it?
See that quiz I done, we used to in the live, should do that to Jackie at the end. That was that full run.
Oh, see if he can get it, We could do it in the live. Right, we've got a couple of fans ones, get your opinion on it. Chris Lynch, pet peeve, mate, restaurants that do sharing platters yet make everything on the platter an odd number. Fighting with your bird pal over the last bit of lamb skewer.
No beer, I've never came across.
True, mate, when you think about it, it's always fucking 3.
But I don't mind it, to be honest, because there's... I get a sharing platter with her because there's stuff I prefer and stuff, you know what I mean? So I'll have 2 of that one, you have 1. But I don't mind it.
You ever get a sharing, you and Sid get a sharing platter?
Me and Sid? No.
Right, pet peeve, this is good. How fucking ripe bananas are. Bought 6 last week and they'll still not be edible by May. April by the looks like.
All over it. Oh, they green bananas,
green
mate.
Bananas, mate.
4 parts full of them, mate. Swear to God, every pre-match you turn up, the bananas are bright green.
Not something you'd ever go near, is it? Can I get blue ones?
I'll eat them next week.
See, for what you do with bananas, is it better that is it better that they're right?
I think there's better when they're all soft. Not all, you better them harder.
Last one here, again, soft play on Sunday. Witness grown men going to the toilet with just their socks on. Similar to the plane.
Put your shoes
that's
on.
Disgusting.
Put your shoes on.
Piss on, like kids genuinely piss over the floor in these soft plays. And there's grown men going to... last one. This is the last one. Gets you raging when people leaving their dogs out of shop tied to a pole.
That's horrible.
Do you want another last one? Or?
No, that was
That's horrible, that.
I don't like that.
But again, you do that, we said.
Time to a pole.
when you're going to the shop.
You'd be hanging on with us.
Just before we move on, your last day on earth, your last ever meal, what you going for? Starter, main, dessert, and then a drink of your choice.
While he's thinking that bacon that's not cooked right through, does
it needs to be crispy, mate.
It needs to be. See that fatty
I
bacon?
cut the fat off and everything.
Before you cook it?
Aye.
Starter, prawn pill.
I've never had it.
Amazing stuff.
Main course would be Chinese food.
What specifically? Or you could take 2 or 3
chicken
dishes.
fried rice and chicken curry or maybe.
Good so far.
Good start, aye.
I don't really have a sweet, so is it a drink?
Dessert and a drink, Do you
have a
chips
dessert.
it?
I would have
it?
No.
No chips?
No.
Are you Chinese?
51, mate. Yes, it just goes. You can't get rid of that now. Drink. Don't know. I'm not really a big lager man now. I didn't drink lager. Maybe a rum. I like rum.
Wee rum and coke.
Wee rum.
What about your favourite packet of crisps and chocolate bar? When I've done.
Good for you, man.
Crisps would be Monster Munch.
What one?
Beef.
Beef?
Beef Monster Munch.
Amazing, but the fingers after it. That.
Pickled onion kill you, but the beef ones are alright.
Roast beef, I like
chocolate would be Twix.
A Twix, would it, right?
Underrated.
Twix is underrated. And then a song, that's it. You'll never walk alone of it.
Song. I like that, to be fair, but I like the Sunshine and Leaf one.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
I didn't like listening to it the other day when they won, but I like that. That's a classic.
I mean, how weird was that?
We spoke about it last week.
You asked him, has he had it yet?
The 2 Cardins were on last week. They said one thing about our time at Hibs is they've no sang Sunshine on Leaf, and then it happens like
I actually heard Coldplay sing it the other day. It was class and a live round. That's kind of was in my head.
And just quickly, Dick Campbell sang at your wedding.
Yep. Travelling Light, he sang.
What a hero he is, isn't he?
He's brilliant. He's class, man. He just got up and sang with the band.
Teeth.
sang with the band. Was it Cliff Richard's song, Travelling Light?
I'd
never heard it before.
Amazing.
You were with the Campbells today, weren't you?
We done mate, the two of them sing at the end, and that'll go probably my favourite moment in open goal history. They made this song up between the two of them, and it's madness, isn't it?
Oh, honestly, they're absolutely brilliant. But they're actually very good. Do you know what I mean? See, we were talking about the amount of promotions there. Sometimes it gets missed because of the characters there. But I mean, they're top coaches and managers.
Oh, right.
Aye.
Right, okay. Right, the Clubhouse.
Oh, brilliant.
Today's show is once again brought to you by our partners at the Clubhouse. It was there yesterday. What a place. Sensational sports bar venue situated in the top floor of Princess Square. And as always, Open Goal viewers can get 20% off your food bill when you quote Open Goal, Paul. I got it yesterday.
I know, superb that, and many of the fans have been going in, but this midweek is going to be incredible. Make sure you get yourself there for the Celtic and Aberdeen game, Andy. And what's the other game again, Andy?
Celtic Rangers on Wednesday night.
So make sure you get yourself there. It's the best place to
Barry Ferguson's first game in charge.
Mm-hmm. Is this true?
Aye,
it's been
confirmed.
announced.
I thought it was April the 1st today or something.
There's then a triple header at the weekend. St Mirren v Celtic on Saturday at 5:30, plus the Edinburgh Derby on Sunday at 12:30, and finishing off at Aberdeen v Dundee.
That Edinburgh Derby on Sunday will be big.
Winter.
That'll be a right good game, I reckon.
We
Both teams playing well now as well.
Who
But the worst pundits in Scotland, but we did tip third and fourth. Hibs, Hearts
they're coming for it now.
A month ago.
And they're coming.
I'm saying Hearts for this weekend.
Oh, I would say.
I always fancy Hearts the derby. I know Hibs won the last one, but that was one in the last 10 or something. I always fancy.
I'll go Hibs.
Jackie, who'd you fancy? Got to go Hibs, didn't you?
I think Hibs are going well and even confident. Hearts, to be fair, Hearts have picked up a wee bit. A big one for them at St Johnstone on a difficult pitch. But I fancy Hibs to beat them.
Alright, well, as you know, there's no better place for watching the game than getting a pint and nice food than the Clubhouse. So book yourself a table at the link in the description box below. Right, on need to start. Philippe Clement sacked. Right decision by Rangers for everyone here?
Yeah. I think if we hadn't been in a bit in Europe, we would have went earlier after the Queen's Park game. But when you get results like that at home, you know, it's hard to keep your job.
See, after the Queen's Park game, do you think they thought about sacking him?
Must have.
Aye. I always felt, I've said it for a few weeks now, I always felt they kind of made it up in their mind that they were just going to keep him at the end of the season regardless of what the results were going to be. And then obviously part ways with him in the summer, but it's got at hand, and it performances, results.
Did you watch him on Saturday?
Aye.
Awful.
Aye, really bad.
That's one of the worst I've seen them.
Well, the fact that he says it's the worst performance in his time says a lot, because there's been a lot of ones that haven't been great. Obviously 2 weeks ago with Queen's Park as well, so I think it had to happen.
What was his biggest downfall? Was it the lack of identity, lack of playing style?
To be honest, I think the writing was on the wall in the summer. I think you look at from the outside, he signs a new contract. I think he no sporting directors, no people there to support the players they brought in. It's, you know, I think he signed that contract knowing that he was, you know, under pressure before he even started. So that for me was all about how am I going to handle this? You know, who's supporting me here? Who's the sporting director? Who's head of recruitment left? The chief exec left? It's one thing after another, and he's obviously still there. But up to that point, it's about, right, I've got a tough job here. You know, that was about the exit, because he had plenty, I think, 2 years to go anyway, didn't he, in his contract at least. So I think the writing was on the wall in the summer, and then he's actually done quite well in Europe, but domestically they've been poor. You know, to lose out the cup with Queen's Park was then getting beat at home to St Mirren 2-0. The writing, there's no way back for that.
Why do you think they have been so poor this year? Because obviously last year he came and he did get an initial bounce, didn't he? He's close to winning the league. Like this year's just been so far off it.
They've never any control in any games. I think when you're like that, you'll never be successful. I don't. You'll maybe get the odd performance like via Celtic, or when the players are up for it, the fans are up for it. But I think throughout a season with that lack of control, you're never going to be successful. I don't think so. But then, see, to be fair as well, mate, the tap at the club and the people that are running it, they're just to blame as well. You know what I mean? Like, you see the amount of managers they've had there the last few years. I think it's very hard to be successful there as a Rangers manager when they're in. Now, hopefully for Rangers' point of view that they do bring these new guys in for 49ers, but I think it would. Now, that's not an excuse for Clement not having a style, but I do think it's very hard for any manager to succeed under the way they were running that club.
You agree, Andy?
No, listen, I I defend the board probably more than most, just because I feel like they've put a lot of money in that they've just written off. They know they're going to get back, but they have made a lot of bad decisions. And they talked about the other day about this constant cycle of managers in autumn. That's because you're hiring the wrong ones. So ultimately, that's up to you. That's your downfall. They went through a thorough interview process the last time. They brought in people to help. They brought in Souness to help. Who Souness comes out and says that he recommended Frank Lampard, but they still appointed Philippe Clement. So it's, again, I just think certain things that have happened have been strange. And again, it's no to say, we said this, but we always felt, even when they were doing well, that the style wasn't there, like the football wasn't great, and you always felt at one point that's not going to be sustainable and that's going to turn. I think that's proved to be the case. I think his team, since he's came, have always struggled against certain types. It's teams that will sit in and frustrate, and you need to try and break them down. Something that I think Celtic are really good at. I think that's what Celtic kind of excel on, breaking down teams. I think under him, Rangers have always struggled to do it. I
asked the boys on the Coopman show this a couple of weeks ago, or was it last week? Can Rangers go and get a manager that's right now successful somewhere else? Does a successful manager want to come and take this job, knowing what the club's like in terms of above you, but also looking at how strong Celtic are just now?
I do think there's this takeover sort of coming out the woodwork. Nobody kind of seen it coming. I think it's going to make it a much more intriguing pool for anyone, because you'd imagine there's going to be investment. You'd imagine that by that time they've got the new sporting director in place and people in the background to sort of help them. So and let's see, at the end of the day, it's still Rangers and Celtic. They're still massive clubs. I still think it's going to be a pool for anyone. I've seen some of the names that are linked just now. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody else comes out of the woodwork towards the end of the season. Probably Knutson when he gets linked every.
Definitely being fucking linked.
It comes up, but I still think whoever they want to get, I think they'll end up getting.
Surprised to see Barry Ferguson get it to the end of the season with Neil McCann, Billy Dodds, Alan McGregor, Mark Haitley, Stuart McCall, just fucking rolled. So are you surprised that these appointments have been made? Again, who's picking these people? Who would you imagine?
It's a strange one. From the outside, like Barry was ambassador role. So it's it's just like you just take it to the end of the season, and Dodds has been a manager, obviously Neil McCann's been a manager, and Grieg's into the goalie coach, but it's they don't think it can get any worse than what they've seen in the last few weeks. With a bit of passion, but you need a direction, you need a set up that you know what your team's going to do. I think you look at Rangers' team, it's all individuals. I think there's one or two decent players. Czerny, I think they're Rascan in certain positions, but you go and watch Rangers playing, what's their structure, what they're trying to achieve, what their playing style is. I think the Celtic, exactly what they're doing. If one player comes out or two players come out, they can go and set in front of Brendan's structure. You know what he's going to achieve. But Rangers, it's just like what we're doing, who's going to win the game from the day? Is Czerny going to be the man? So it's a big job.
Who do you think should have got it if Rangers on this set and who they want to appoint a manager for long term? Who do you think should have come in and now and took the job?
In terms of interim stuff, it's kind of, your shortlist is pretty small in it. I think you're getting someone that's either within the club just now or somebody that's out of a job and happy to take it for 3 months. So I don't think you've got a huge sort of pool of people. I think the kind of outstanding two that you thought would have been Kevin Thompson or Barry Ferguson. Obviously, I've worked with Barry Ferguson before, and he's got a lot of strengths. So I was happy to see if he got the interim to the end of the season, that he's got people to support him as well, because he's only had the Kelty job, the Clyde job and the Alloa job. It's not as if he's got 20 years of experience. So I think the fact that he's got a couple of people in to help him at the end of the season, but I'm not just saying this because obviously Fergie's a pal of mine, but Tom was a pal of mine. I thought Tom was a stick on to be involved one way or another.
So Malcolm sitting in his ice cream van like that, ain't he? Fergie fucking phoning me or what?
To be fair, I forgot about Bob. He was his assistant.
He took him everywhere, didn't he? Well, you two have played on. You said
what I will say is, I'm glad they've went down the interim route. I don't think they should appoint a new manager right away. I think they should give it time, and maybe somebody that they've got in mind's in a job now to the end of the season. So I do think getting an interim into sort of.
But would it be good to get somebody in before the end of the season, Andy, so you could get in and judge the players?
The only thing that matters is getting the right guy. That's the only thing that matters. So however long that takes, because at the end of the day, domestically the seasons are right. If they're going to win the league, they can't win the Scottish Cup. They're out. The League Cup's done. So I think it's just important that they get the right man.
Again, you've played under. What can Rangers players expect?
His training outstanding.
Is it right?
Aye, it's outstanding. His intensity.
Can you talk us through a typical session, please?
It was always different. Genuinely, it was always different, but with the same message. Obviously, possession, small possessions. But what it was always very high intense stuff, which maybe this team lack at times. But I'm not surprised. And he's got his presence is incredible. Even when he walks in a room, you can just tell right away. Where I'm surprised is that when was the last time he's managed?
That's what I mean with the kind of. Aye, that's what I mean with the.
And even Neil McCann as well. Like, when was the last time he's been involved? And
do you think that matters? Is it not still football now?
Nah, it's football. It shouldn't matter them going in, been a length of time being out. The game doesn't change. Although it's how he goes in and stamps his authority down what he gets out the players, because the place needs a lift, and how he does that and puts his identity down between now and the end of the season. Because still, as I said, I know that domestically there's nothing, but they're still in Europe. There's still an opportunity to go and get to the next bit of that.
Love to hear his first speech with the players. Would you not love to be a fly in the wall, mate?
But I'm with you in terms of like, see if he's in there to be that kind of figurehead, not be a head coach, be a manager, set the demands and the standards, because that's what he was brilliant with. And if listen, I've never worked with Billy Dodds or Neil McCann, but I've said it before, I always like the way they speak in the game when they're on the telly and whatnot. So the fact that they've got that as a group more so than anything. No,
Cammy Kerr, who had at Dundee, and Lewis Spencer I've got now, said Neil McCann's a great coach. Dundee coached everything, mate, and it was all about playing it for the back, dominating possession of the ball.
Well, he'll be the man then. It's going to sort of.
I wouldn't imagine that Dodgy done much at Inverness, would you, in terms of coaching?
I wouldn't have thought so. I think Neil, I agree.
You played him at Falkirk, didn't you, Jackie?
I think Neil's a decent coach. I think he'll put his stuff across quite well. Dodgy, I don't know. I've not seen first hand, but Neil's decent.
Dodgy 100% just takes the finishing at the end, doesn't he?
Aye.
Just tuck the top one at the back and get there.
He loves that, doesn't he? Pulling the top.
Tuck it in.
Neil McCann's not after it. Doing that, his analysis was brilliant on Sports, and gets the job 2 days later. Gets the big man in sack, he's in the door. But he was spot on what he was saying, wasn't he? But it's not just that build up area for Rangers that there's no any instruction. It seems like it's all over the pitch, doesn't it?
Aye, it's off the cuff, aye. It's off the cuff.
It's individuals.
The recruitment has been poor though, innit?
Do you think?
Aye.
I don't know if they're bad players, mate.
I don't know if the recruitment's as bad as people make it.
I agree.
What about who from centre midfield?
But anyone can look a bad player in that structure.
But see, if you want to control a game, who in centre midfield you would like to build it up through? So
Raskin can do that, can't he, do you think? Yeah, man, they can play, mate.
I know, but I think the two are maybe higher up, no?
I think Raskin's better as a sixth than higher up. But I think you're talking about a couple of players. So that was another thing about Clement. I don't think he improved any player. So for me, I think you'll see an upturn. I've always really liked Diamande, and I know people say, but they paid $4 million, he should be the best player in the league or the best player in the team. I think under a certain style, I think he's one that I think will definitely kick on. And again, that style probably is playing through the thirds, get them in tighter areas to be more involved.
You need big characters and all. You need leaders. You know, not just your captain. Obviously, captains come under a lot of stick and a lot of pressure with the fans and stuff as well. But I think a team like Rangers, you need strong leaders in your dressing room to handle what's going on outside.
There doesn't look many there, does there?
That's what I mean. It's look all individuals, some decent players there, but they don't look like from the outside. They don't look like strong leaders.
Even St Man's 2 goals. It's proper going to win a header.
It's the other boy's fault though, innit?
I know, but I can't never see proper win a header, man.
You know, he's soft proper. That's what I'm saying about the recruitment. I don't think the recruitment's been good. The 2 centre halves proper as well. Boyan Ciala's, he's obviously young. He's just come in. He's actually done quite well. But for they 2 goals, how soft was he on Saturday?
But by the way, they 2 up front for St Mirren are a proper handful, aren't they?
Aye.
Mandron and Olasanya.
That's brilliant, mate.
Absolute night. They could batter. They should be the fucking bouncers in Wonderbar, mate.
But see, to be fair, like, as much as we'll talk about Rangers and whatnot, but St Mirren were excellent, mate. St Mirren were very, very good, because they didn't just come in, sit at the edge of the box and say, break us down with it, what I've said Rangers do struggle with. Any sideways passes, any backwards passes, they were jumping on, latching on, stealing balls at the edge of the box, forcing Rangers into errors and win the ball back high up. I thought St Mirren were excellent, but Stephen Robinson's teams have always been really good in they type of scenarios, in it, when they've kind of been off the ball and they try and force teams to play a certain way to nick it and counter. So they were excellent.
I thought Dessers was terrible.
There wasn't a pass mark, mate.
No.
For me, there wasn't a pass mark in the game for Rangers.
Do you think the players kind of knew that Clement was going to be gone? Do you think there was that feeling amongst the players with
as a player, you
performance?
sense it. I think even as a manager, I've been on both sides, you sense it.
When did you sense it as a manager? United?
Aye, sense it United.
And where does that come from? The board, fans, all that?
Both really. Not as much the board. I was thinking about a couple of weeks before he sacked us at United. He brought us in for a meeting saying about results and stuff like that. It was actually bizarre because he summoned me to Tannadice, and at Tannadice all the paper thin walls, and he doesn't know this, Stephen, but so I've came in and says come up to the stadium, and he's on the phone to somebody and they're telling him. So I just say to him, like, I'm not sacking him today, you know, but we need results, and I can hear everything that he's going to say to me before he says to me. And so, because at Tannadice it's old and it's something like that. It was just after one of the players' funerals, the old players' funerals, and I came up and then I got knocked on the door. He says, I says, Jackie, he says, all right, go down to your office and I'll give you a shout, I'm on the phone now. But I'd already heard everything. So everything that he'd saying word for word on the phone when I went up, and I went into the office with him, he's like, this isn't disciplinary, you know, we need results. I says, I know we need results. I says, you know, we had 20 odd shots against Camargue, we should have won. You know, if we weren't creating chances, I would go, right, we're miles off at the now and whatever. I said, but we've had 20 shots at goal. I says, it's a bit of bad finishing, we need to work a wee bits of that. New strikers coming in, we'd lost the front three 6 months before, well, Nadir there and the other 2 6 months before. I said, it takes time for these boys to get up to the demands and the pressure of handling it.
What about sorry about you?
No, so then it was a few weeks later, we lost at St Johnstone then. But when he sacked me at St Johnstone, he took me up to one of the rooms at McDermott, away ground.
Did he?
Aye, and sacked me. And he's like, so the letter that he had, it was just photocopied and they just kept changing the date on it. I swear to God, it was like, so I was like that. When
just waiting for it. Last week's one, right.
And I was looking at it and he's like, you know, I'm up the stairs at McDermott because I was going to do the press and in fairness, we battered, we should have won. They were down to 10 men, we were 1-0 up and they had 2 kicks up the park, they score for a corner, then we missed so many chances and boom, 2-1 and it's like, that was me gone. But I was went to do the media and David Sullivan was the general manager. He says, oh, Stephen's wanting you upstairs. I went, all right, okay. I said, we'll go and do the press first. He said, no, I'll get Simon to do it. So I went away upstairs and Stephen's sister and his mum was sitting at the top of the stairs. So I walked past him and into the wee room, away ground. And he's like, what are you thinking here? He's got the letter out. I'm going to terminate your contract. And I'm like, away ground? Why didn't me up? You know, but the dates, I'm looking at it, I just got the letter that he gave me and just kept, just photocopied. It's like next week, wait until that's what it was like. And I was looking at the stuff there and, you know, wee bits you don't analyse the opposition. I was like, that, wow. You know,
so he was telling you everything that you'd done wrong?
Well, just wee bits that I was like, I played 17 games against 3 teams before that season, the previous season. So we played Aberdeen 5 times. So we played them in the semi-final League Cup, which we won, and we played Celtic in the final of the League Cup. We played Celtic in the Scottish Cup, and we played it going to a replay. Played Celtic 7 times, and we played Dundee 5 times. 17 games against 3 teams, and he's like, you don't. And I said, what do I need to analyse? Tell them what they had for breakfast. You know, it's. But it was an experience.
What about as a player? Because it was John Barnes, wasn't it?
John Barnes, I mean, the fallout for the Inverness game, I wasn't playing in that game, by the way.
Were you in the dressing room?
I was in the dressing room at half time.
Is it Viduka that went mad at him, or did Viduka refuse to play?
Viduk's, Eric Black had a pop at Viduka at half time and big Marco didn't take it. He was like, I'm not taking that. You know, he called him a lazy or a cheat or something, or lazy, whatever. And he's just, it was fell out with him.
Did you know off the back of that result, obviously comparing it to Clement at Queen's Park, did you know what was probably done?
I think it's hard to get back from that, you know, because that's history. You can't change it, you know, and you're waiting for the next bit to happen, but there's no going back. And then, as I said, I think if Rangers went in Europe, still at that, probably give them a bit more time. But then the writing, that was the final straw, was the weekend at home.
What did Barnsley? Sorry, mate.
If you've got credit in the bank, and I think if Brendan Rodgers went and lost to a championship team, the way lose his job is, you've got credit in the bank.
Martin had a team when he lost to Inverness a few years after that. He changed the whole team, but we were competing in Europe, you know, with big games in Europe, and we changed it there, and we lost 1-0 at Inverness a few years after that. So
what did Barnsley say after the Inverness game?
Nah, hardly anything. Just
was you not a manager, John Barnes? Nah.
He wasn't a great communicator. I think he would speak to certain individuals in the team. You know, they kind of created a wee bit of a divide at times, I felt. But I didn't think he was great as a manager.
Have you said it with managers when you just know the sack's coming soon?
Good question.
What about you, Si?
Pedro, I wasn't there, obviously, at the time, but he would definitely be one, even for the outside.
Would boys be saying like he's going to go soon?
You felt as if the writing was on the wall when he was in the job a month. Do you know what I mean? So you never felt it would last at that for any length of period of time. But then it was that progress game, similar to Queen's Park, obviously. The first round against Progress, and it's a matter of time after that.
Tony Mowbray, when I first signed with Celtic.
He told the boys that he was staying, didn't he? He says, I'm going to get longer here.
But see, when
4-0 against St Mirren or something like that.
No, that's right, aye.
Sacked 2 hours later, wasn't he?
See, training and that, like, he just stood at the side, his body language, you could just tell, wasn't it right? You knew he was gone, even when I first signed in the January. A few weeks later he gets that, but you knew right away he was gone.
You played with Barry at Scotland. How did you get on? Obviously there was that Celtic Rangers rivalry.
Alright, aye, like Fergie. What a time for him. Good player. Few tussles, but I think a mutual respect for each other and the teams as well at that point. We always seem to get on alright away from.
Would you argue on the pitch?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter up against my brother on the pitch. I'd go and fight him. You know what I mean? You're going to win. You need to win. That's the bottom line. You need to win every game.
Jackie, see your era of Celtic and that era of Rangers. Do you think that was the two best sort of Rangers and Celtic teams at that time going at it?
I think Rangers team before that with Gascoigne and Laudrup, they were good players. You know what I mean? The Martins team, I would say, is probably the strongest. The team that got to Seville with Larsson and stuff like that. But Rangers, I think Rangers were good even beyond that. You know, with Newmans and the team they had there. Fergie was in it. Right through the De Boers, they were good players. But I think Rangers' best team was when Laudrup and Gascoigne were before.
Who would you be that direct up against usually?
Well, with Walter, it was 3-5-2 they played. You know, and the other one with Advocat, it was a 4-3-3, and Cleach was a 4-3-3. You know, then the kind of width and their pace with the wider ones. So, but again, they had quality right throughout their team. They were good games to play in.
Did Laudrup did he not play in the left wing? Did you know to cut
He had a free role. He used to come over, but he was actually quicker with the ball at his feet than he was without the ball.
Right.
I don't know, it doesn't make sense, but he was like stuck to his foot. He was quality. And Gascoigne would have his elbows up, you couldn't get near him. But he was a quality
had boys
player.
like Mark McNally try to beat them.
Yeah.
You had boys like Mark McNally try to beat them, innit? Big Nals, man.
But that's the best Old Firm games I've ever seen at that time, wasn't it?
That era
was incredible.
Rickson and Tom won that, wasn't it?
Amazing.
You remember all that?
They're proper games, aye.
Remember Fergie? I think Fergie gets sent off actually.
The 6-2 game, that was just 6-2 game.
That's what I mean, for that Celtic win 6-2 at Celtic Park, then Rangers won 5-1 at Ibrox. That's how good both teams could be on their day, do you know what I mean?
Was there a hatred there amongst the players, like for the Rangers players?
No.
Nah.
No.
Just Tom and Nixon?
No, I think, again, I think you can respect the other side because you know the pressures and what it means and how it affects everybody. You need to win. And you don't want to be on the losing side. I think there's do you like them when the game kicks off? No. You know what I mean? As I said, you're going to war, but once it's finished, shake your hand and move on.
Like I seen the games with Martin O'Neill's team talks different for other games, the Old Firm games.
Didn't he do a team talk ever, did he?
Martin?
Did he?
Oh, aye.
Oh, did he? Right.
Aye, Martin's, that was
weren't
his.
involved.
I know, I was only in the back.
It's talking as if he was a player with him.
Was it not just 11 names on a sheet you walk in and say that?
No, he would do that to start with. So he would name it, and that's what it was. He would just say this. To be fair, I'd done it and all when I was a manager, but he'd just come in an hour and a half before the game, so you prepared to play every game. You didn't know, those games you come in, you're just waiting for your surname in the starting 11. Then in the subs, you're waiting for McNamara in the subs or the starting 11. Then you'd go away. Then before you went out to do the warm up, he would go through how we were going to win. But then before the start of the game, he would do he's talking. That's what he was. That's Martin's forte. He just had you going out, to win.
Did you ever see him even at half time or after the games you've had a bad result, him coming after anybody?
Aye.
Did you ever get it?
Me?
Aye.
No.
Who was his targets? Who would be the ones he'd go for?
He came in after the Rangers game, the 5-1, so Tomo got sent off and Rangers beat us 5-1 and he came in and Tomo was sitting there and he just went for him. It's like, you fucking didn't want to be out there, you shit yourself. And Tom was like, did I fuck? He went, yeah, fucking. And he just getting louder and louder. And I'm sitting like, shut up, Tom. Fucking shut up, Tom. Just take it. You know what I mean? You could see him, and John Robertson's like, shut up, Tom. Fucking shut up. He just kept answering him back, and Martin's getting closer and closer to him. Like, he used to just look over his glasses and went, shut your fucking, you shut yourself.
Good accent.
He's got a bit on the TV, ain't he, Martin?
Honestly, I know it's hard now because you see it, but back then players are no scared of your manager. Back then we were no terrified of him, but you're like.
But mate, I've said this, but the full club was terrified of him, wasn't they?
Aye. We came to training. So he came up to Barrowfield, didn't he? He wasn't there at training every day, so like Tuesday or Friday. So Tuesday he would come in and he would just stand at the side in there, and if you weren't playing at certain points, or he would just, you see him pick up like 6 poles. You're like, oh no. You know what I mean? Here he comes, and he would just start walking out the pitch next to it, the pitch we were training on, and he just plumps a pole down, and then he walks away and does another pole, and then another pole, and then the training's finished, and he comes over and he goes, you come here, you, and he hated the goalies. He fucking loved running the goalies.
Imagine running the goalies.
You see, fuck Gildy, who couldn't run, fucking big rabbit.
With his fingerless gloves running.
So he was like, and he would start off like running right round the poles in a big circle. And he was like, right, and so it'd be like 6s that he just took a dislike to that day, or he just, you weren't playing. He was like, right, I'll give you 40 seconds to get right round. And he's like, go. And you're trying to count in your head like 10 seconds past the first. And we were all counting in as a wee group. And he would shout out like 30, 40, and like fucking you're just getting in right on the, right on the time he does. And he's gauged it in that. It's like freaky. And he goes, right, next one, 32 seconds, you're like 15 seconds off it. You're like sprinting the goalies, and then say, right, so you may do 4 or 5. And he says, right, we do one more inside 30 seconds, that's yours for the day. And the goalie can tone a caravan, bits with Big John or that was having to do it. But I'm not joking, you're like right to your max, everything's season up, you're back. That was Martin's wee party piece on a Tuesday.
He would ref the games as well sometimes.
And that was a Friday, young v old. So we used to vote for the worst player in the yellow jersey. And if it was a draw, he had to like pick it.
Pick the worst player?
Aye, he would say what one he thought was the worst.
And who would he usually pick?
To be fair, I was in the final. I've never won the yellow jersey any week, but I was in the final a couple of times because it was all strategic. So you'd vote on the worst senior player, but all the young boys used to vote Lenny to get a reaction with Lenny. Even the senior boys like Lenny. So Lenny would go around and like, do you vote for me? I was like, I voted for City. And he would go and count all the votes up, and he'd be like, you said you voted for City. I've got thinking I was like, I voted for City. And all the young boys, wee Maloney and all that, you could see them all, Lenny. Because you get the reaction. You know what I mean? He would go mental just to see his reaction, like angry. You know what I mean? Voting
and then there was a worst trainer of the year, wasn't there? Was that
the Donkey of the year? Aye.
Donkey of the year.
Fuck, that's harsh, isn't it?
I'm sure did Beats not get one, so he was fucking devastated.
Aye,
What did it say? I've had a Vega or something. It said on the front.
had
didn't
a
it?
Vega or something,
I
aye.
remember that.
That's what I'm saying. But you imagine that now, it would be, you know what I mean? Oh, you can't do that.
Can't see that.
You can't, you know what I mean? You can't single the players out or you have to worry about them. Different.
What a team. You joined Celtic shortly after Ferguson McCowan took over, obviously talking about the 49ers taking over. Did that give the club a massive lift?
I think it did at the time. The stadium was getting finished. The infrastructure, I think Tommy, the gaffer, when I signed, he'd just won the Scottish Cup in the end of that season. This was before Bosman, so I came in like start of October. But that was the change in the football club. It just, you know, the style of football that Tommy brought an identity and changed it, and then bit by bit the stadium get finished. Then you're bringing more quality players, the Larsons, and you know the standard of the whole club goes up.
That's what Rangers will be hoping it's going to happen with these new owners, isn't it?
Aye, they'll need investment 100%, because at the end of the day, Celtic, you just seen their balance sheets last week. They're going to go and spend again in the summer because their next thing's to improve again in the Champions League, so they're going to go and spend money, so Rangers need to do the same. And then obviously, can they get the 2-3 for the youth system that they've been crying out for the last sort of decade or so? Obviously it remains to be seen, but they definitely need investment. Well,
the decision of the new manager obviously have to wait until these take over, because they'll need to have a say in who gets the job as well, wouldn't they?
I'd imagine so, wouldn't you?
Yeah, that's probably why they're doing it interim. You know, they do it to end of the season to see about the new investors, if that's the case, and the new sporting director, because you'd imagine that he's the one that's got to pick who's going to come in and oversee the blueprint of their future.
You've done that job, haven't you, sporting director? Would you take that if Ferguson?
No. I want to enjoy my life, live our life.
Is it a good job, but it does seem like is it not that? Is it tough?
Well, at York,
sporting director
at that
job,
level, at that level, it's hard to enjoy it, but it's nice to be involved in football. But I don't foresee that to be an easy job. Whoever takes that.
See, on the Rangers manager sort of long term, is there any names you would like to see get it?
Muscat's always linked into. But somebody put up his win percentage the other night on Twitter, and I didn't think it was that. It's that good.
He's won the last couple of leagues, hasn't he?
Forget that.
I think he won the league in China and he won the league in, was it Japan before that maybe?
Sean Dyche was mentioned.
Can't keep Dyche yet.
I'd be surprised if it was Sean Dyche.
No.
Would the Frank Lampard take this now if you offered him it again? Coming from Coventry.
He's doing well in Coventry. So.
Maybe I
he's
think
managed that massive club in Chelsea, and he done all right in one stint there, didn't he? When he first took over.
Aye.
He brought a few young lads through and all, he gave them a chance at Derby and stuff like that. Yeah, I think would they leave Coventry to go to Rangers? Maybe.
I think that's a report. Would Rangers fans be happy with it?
I don't know. I seen that Russell Martin's linked, and I think that's one that divides opinions, but I think he'd be a good appointment. Again, you're talking about style of football. There's obviously an argument he's won anything, but he's still got Southampton promoted to the Premier League. Then would they get 8 games in the Prem before they get the sack? And you're talking about styles and how to break down obviously opponents. He showed that's kind of what he's best at. Again, and he's
going to have the best players in the league. It's not like where he's at Southampton, he's trying to play this way with the worst players in the league. You'll have the best players in the league, won't
Plus, again, if you've got investors coming in that's going to back him as well, and get some.
I think he speaks quite well, Russell Martin.
I
quite like his interviews after games.
Do you think that'd be a good appointment?
I think that would be a good appointment, Russell Martin. Where's he been? MK Dons, Swansea and Southampton.
Done well at Swansea and all.
He's done well in 3 jobs, really, hasn't he?
I don't think he did great in MK Dons. I think that was the argument, but he basically got a better job based on his style.
Yeah.
Which, again,
do you know he's a
getting
massive
promoted for Southampton
for Brendan Rodgers, Russell Martin?
No, but I think anyone that Rangers are going to be a massive.
Well, that's the thing with Brendan Rodgers at Swansea. They've all started somewhere. Do you know what I mean? They've all
he
got
was
to
the Liverpool manager,
to.
wasn't he? Brendan Rodgers with Celtic.
Aye, but
and nearly won the league with them.
But
Rodgers is a Celtic fan, so it's a bit different.
You're not going to get Jurgen Klopp, are you? Who won the league at Liverpool? So it's like, what's your expectations if you don't think somebody promoted to the Premier League is good?
Boy Knudsen.
I know, but mate, there must be a reason why he's not taking it.
The job he's done.
Mate, the owner must take scuddies at him or something. The owner of Bodo must take scuddies at him and he's phone pictures in them.
7 years he's been their manager.
I know.
So I'm looking at that thinking, why is nobody took him or why is he not left?
Crazy,
it's mad, because he's linked to everything as well.
Someone's up.
Maybe he doesn't want to go.
He's just happy, content there.
Some people, I don't know.
But it does just take one guy, because you've been in this situation where you've lost 9 leagues in a row, obviously, and you probably think, looking at the players that you've had and the players Rangers had, that Rangers are going to get 10 in a row, and then you go and get Wim Jansen, innit?
Aye,
and
midfield.
changes everything. So
Yeah.
can it happen whereas it looks on paper like Celtic are going to dominate for years now, but could it be the case if Rangers get the right guy, you could go and win a league next year?
Not with that squad.
Nah.
Compared to Celtic squad. I think again, I think Rangers need we're talking about short term, so for next season I think Rangers need a perfect window and need Celtic have a bad window. And again, then I think a manager can make a difference because the squad's better and the sort of gap between the playing squads in terms of the quality's levelled out a wee bit. But
how did you manage it then?
I'd actually know if Clement took Celtic and Rodgers took Rangers.
Relegated. Celtic get relegated.
Would Rangers win the league? If Rodgers took Rangers? I don't think they would. Regardless of the difference in managers.
Celtic squad's so far in front of them.
What you think if Rodgers took Rangers, they'd win the league?
And Clement took Celtic?
Well, I'm just using, you were talking about the difference in manager with Rodgers. If Rodgers took this Rangers team, I don't think they'd win the league, no.
I think you would know what
We're doing.
what they were
Definitely,
doing.
which is...
You would know it's you're trying to...
So how did you manage it? Because Andy's talking about the Rangers got obviously a lot, worse players than Celtic right now, but you said worse players than Rangers that year and you ended up winning the league. What was it?
I don't agree with that.
Oh really?
Good.
Would you not had worse players than Rangers that year, nah?
Well, in terms of Larsson...
But Larsson wasn't Larsson at that stage, was he?
So Larsson, Reaper came in, Paul Lambert came in after winning the Champions League with Dortmund, Craig Burley came in for Chelsea, we'd lost Di Canio, brought in Dan Jackson.
There you go.
But no, it's again, I think with a structure, with a way of playing that suited us. It took a bit of time for him to establish what he wanted to do with his team and the shape. But Rangers were strong then. But for us, on paper, yeah, you probably say they were a better team. But
fuck.
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't have. The majority of people would have.
They did lose. Rangers lost Gascoigne and was it Laudrup?
No, that they played that season.
I thought Gascoigne wasn't there for
Trying to make excuses for Rangers. No.
No, he left at the end of that season along with Walter.
Mm. Brilliant, great wee bit. Just quickly, huge credit to St Mirren. He has done an amazing job there, hasn't he?
Brilliant.
Very good.
Every year continues to do well.
Yeah.
You know how tough it is playing at the teams when you lose your best players every year. You need to go again. It must be tough.
It is. That's one of the hardest part is replacing them.
Mm.
You know, it's when you don't have money to go and buy it. You've got to grow it, and that's the tough part of it.
Right. Be inspired. Look at this guy.
So I've went for the mere fuzzier fleece, they call it.
Fuzzier face or fuzzier
fleece?
Oh, fleece, right.
With a slight breakout in the chin, so just don't look
slight
at that.
breakout.
But this is sort of...
We'll cut your head out this.
So this is with the wee pocket square in here side. I went
lovely.
for the cargo pumps. Right, Jackie? Aye.
Aye.
And so it's made of a sort of you can go with a winter look or just in a tune look, whatever you want.
A winter look or just in the tune look? Is that a season just in the tune?
But I love this.
So where would you wear this out? Where would you use to wear this, Paul?
Well, when I was travelling, obviously, to Munich, perfect next.
Why are you acting? Just speak normally.
Oh, when I was
put on an active one.
It was freezing earlier, so this was perfect for that. And then if you're going for a wee pint after it, you get in everywhere with that on. And
you get in everywhere. You look great, mate. Their newest collection of kit has landed, and this isn't one to miss, featuring new colourways in their iconic styles, such as the Hummels tee, closer quarter zip, and Hartley crew neck. What football player would you like to see get a wee range?
Lenny. For the Converse he had. Do you remember the Converse?
Lenny's gear's always horrendous, but you remember that as a kid now?
Do you remember his long, full-length leather jacket?
Used to, you get in the dark, you get clothes ready in the dark this morning. Every day, his gear was horrendous.
Do you know whose gear was honking? Valharden.
Yours, aye.
I'm sure his shoes got nailed to the ground once. Stinky Pete he used to get called. Why was that?
Stanky VO. Big
And he's Jackie.
And Sutty roomed him and absolutely killed him. Yours was brilliant his first year, and he was rooming with Sutty, that killed him.
But that way he was never the same player after that.
He would just fucking destroyed him. Just destroyed him. You know what he's like. Yours a lovely lad as well.
A Levine Chinos collection would be good.
Oh, what a shout, Andy.
Could be good.
A Craig Levine Chinos range would be incredible, man. With this drop, you're guaranteed to look at the park whether they're on the way to work or out for drinks, as the young man said there.
Yeah.
Their new range online at beinspired.com and in store at Glasgow, St Enoch, Dundee, Overgate and Leeds. And just for our opening goal listeners, Paul, what are we giving you?
I don't know, Si, because I was
10%
doing my modelling, so Andy should be backing you up there.
10% off your first online purchase. Simply use code GOAL at checkout. It's a way of saying thanks for tuning in. The link to score yourself some new gear is available in our video description. Getting something about discounts, eh?
Right, Mind to Mind campaign, lads. The show's brought to you by NHS Scotland Mind to Mind campaign, which we've been running for the last 3 weeks.
And we're delighted to see we've had a fantastic reaction to the campaign so far, with so many viewers getting in touch to let us know that they've been visiting the Mind to Mind website, and that has been a big help. Brilliant, that, innit?
Yeah, it just goes to show the benefits that come from seeking a bit of help and seeing how other people in your position have dealt with similar problems and get through the other end of it. So
if you're going through a difficult patch or are feeling overwhelmed, anxious or lonely, it's important to remember that help is available at the Mind to Mind website that's already helped so many fellow viewers out there.
The Mind to Mind website features over 30 videos of people talking about their mental wellbeing challenges in a bid to help others who may be going through the same. The site, hosted on NHS Inform, covers topics including dealing with anxiety and panic, coping with money worries, handling stress, feeling lonely or isolated, lifting mood and moving through grief. Each contributor shares practical advice on what has worked for them. The website also provides practical advice on how to deal with life's up and downs and signposts where people can access further support.
As you can see, you're not alone. Find out how others are taking care of their mental health at www.nhsinform.scot/mind to mind. The link is also in the description box below.
So I just heard you saying leather jacket about Lenny.
I had a full length leather jacket, mate.
No,
it was like the Matrix,
Can you back your story up?
But we were so scared of Lenny, mate. Like, he was the one, like, if you could say something to them, or...
Was Lenny a goth?
Mate. Remember he dyed his hair blonde? And he wore a full length leather, mate. He was like Neo for the Matrix, mate.
With black sunglasses.
He would wear black sunglasses, didn't he?
Jackie, any other outfits that Lenny wore that you can...
Yeah. Oh, his gear was horrendous.
I just remember his Converse when he was the manager. Like, he must have tied the tights
taken
down,
off.
but his toes went away up.
Size 12 Converse.
I thought he was always bogging when he lived on a farm, didn't he?
Yeah, but he'd sort of these Prada shoes
Loved
on,
the
trainers,
Pradas.
but and just walk about in the shit where he lived. They're always a mess, his shoes.
Amazing. Big John was always naked. My memory of John Hartson, he was always naked, man. Theatre he used to just sit for like 20 minutes naked, just looking done. You'd be watching him and go, what is he doing, man? With the big Johnny tattoo across his stomach.
I remember him. Martin put him in with me when he first came. So everyone was, I never put clothes on, was always walking about bollock in the hotels.
Well, we're going to ask you later on, but we may as well just ask you now.
Is it true?
There's a rumour, a story going about the night before the UEFA Cup final.
With John?
You were a rumour?
Did John tell you it? Big John tell you the
Is it
story?
true?
Yeah.
Can you talk us through it?
Well, just like you were saying there, he was sitting there in bollock and he was going out with Boydie because the two of them were injured. Him and Tom Boy were going out for a few drinks.
And was it Boydie that wanted him, Bollock?
Eh?
Was it Boydie that wanted John Bollock?
No, I roomed with John. I was
right.
rooming with him and he just got that tattoo and he was sitting flaming out. I was like, he had just shaved his hair. The first time I was like, fucking hell, big man, you're like wee Buddha sitting there. And she's went away. By the way, it's the night before Seville, in Seville before the Porto game. So I'm obviously in the squad. He's injured, but I still remember him. So he's went out with Boydie on a few, come back at 4 a.m. and their lights on. It's like, Toy. My nickname was Toy. Toy. He's like, wee Buddha's him. He's shitting in the minibar eating the monster.
Oh my God. To be fair, Hartson was a legend,
We had a
didn't he?
good laugh too. I mean, he was a good roommate, Big John.
Oh, he was so funny, Hartson, man.
Buddha's head.
He hated like fitness, but didn't he? Hated it, mate.
Pre-match, he wouldn't come for pre-match. He would just eat the minibar. Would tell the thing. He would never.
Just sweeties.
He wouldn't come for pre-match. He wouldn't see the pre-match at the hotel.
So just like a box of crisps or
He
something?
would have like the Pringles and a bit of chocolate. He'd order a tuna sandwich or something and a pint of Coke.
But see, I remember we played Hearts away. Do you remember Pearson and McManus scored in the last 2 minutes to win the game? It was at Christmas time. Big John got back on the bus, mate, and I could be wrong, right, but I think he had about 8 packets of crisps at Edinburgh to Glasgow. He fucking loved crisps, didn't he?
It was the Chris. It was okay. It was. I think it was St Johnston at home. We used to have a wee bit through the back if you were only playing. Remember the wee bit where they bring in the juice and the pies. And all that? The pies weren't like the wee pies you get now. They were like the big mince pies. And Big John was on the bench. I wasn't in the squad. I don't know if I was injured or whatever, but he's came back through when we were playing pool at half time. I think the Grand National was on, so he's came through and he's spotted a pie. He's on the bench. So he's scoffed I'm not joking, he scoffed a pie. he's on the can of Coke. And then I was like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And then he's like, he's going to have another one. So he just took it in half, took the other half of pie, took another drink, and then I'm not joking, about 10 minutes later the gaffer put him on. We were all laughing, there was like mince pie sitting right there.
Burping up this.
And about 2 minutes later, boom, goal, big bad John. You're like, fuck.
It's incredible.
It's like, how's it, that must be just, that big mince pie and a half must be just sitting there.
That's amazing. He's the strongest man in the world, isn't he, Big John?
Class.
Oh, that's
Right on to Celtic, Cooping Show. I says to the guys, you see any hope for Hibs given that Celtic had a tough game against Bayern, they're travelling? Didn't even let us finish my sentence. No chance, he said.
But did you
send that clip about a million times to Hibs fans?
Hibs fans
They always put me in as well, you and him saying that Hibs have no chance.
But did you think they had a chance before that? Because
I said on here that they would beat Celtic last week.
Did you? I don't think they did they?
I said that Cadden said it.
See, for the Celtic's Champions League campaign, I think if they don't win most of their games after they've played in Champions League, so it's hard to use that factor. And then obviously they played Bayern, an amazing performance. So you're thinking they'll be up for that performance playing Hibs, but Hibs were I can't believe that's the same team for the early months of the season. I remember coming in here and go, it's the same mistakes every week. They're conceding so many goals. They're that poor defending. See that off the ball the other day v Celtic, it was incredible. And Big Rocky at the back, he was sensational. See the amount of times Celtic put the ball and he was in the right area defending, their desire, and see the amount they run is unbelievable. They actually thought they outworked Celtic the other day.
Again, that's, you talk about managers improving players, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So some of the players, like you're right in saying, before even David Gray came in to maybe at the start of his tenure, like some of the same players make mistakes week on week, conceding goals. All of them are arguably star men.
Incredible, honestly.
Rocky Bashiri's been one of Hibs' most consistent performers for the last sort of 2 months. Triantis has been really good. Campbell came into the team. Campbell wasn't even in the team when David Gray took the job. I must say, I know he's just back for injury, but I think the boy Bowie looks very good.
Very good up front. Really liked him when he was at ref on it as a kid.
But the first goal's unbelievable. First goal's like a proper good goal. Looked like by design as well. We've dived at the centre half, touches all the way up to the touchline. It's just a touch inside, flip round the corner, and they'll break that back four.
It's perfect as used. Is that the man Trusty goes out to the?
Yeah.
Aye. He shouldn't be out there, should he?
I've no problem with him going out there. I think it's Engels that kills it. Because see, in the press, they're basically man for man Celtic, and Engels comes away for his man to help Trusty, and it allows the guy Trusty who's playing just to pop it into Engels' man. Whereas if Engels stays with his man, Trusty's just going tight with his man and forcing him back to pitch. But Engels runs towards him, leaves his man spare, pops it in there, 2 passes and you're done. And then McGregor's man runs off him as well.
Aye.
I don't think Trusty needs to go there.
Do you know that? But is that the instruction came for the manager that they're going to go man for man on the pitch?
I don't know, because it's like that. It was the same when I lost one of the goals in Europe recently. It was Scales was like
Aston Villa
it was, and it was like away, just like there's no danger, you're protecting the goals, you know, you're leaving the space there, just pass them on and shout to one of the midfielders and close rank, because you've just created the space and then they go in, boom, goal. Aston Villa was the same.
But see the fact that Scales was done at that game, Jackie, and then Trusty's done it must be an instruction for the manager that we're going high, we're going man for man.
I'm surprised you'd want your centre back to go that far, you know what I mean? It was basically like just over the halfway line. He was like 20-30 yards away out of it and one ball, and they're chasing it.
I think it's like a domino effect after that as well, though, and it's like he says, like nobody then recognises the danger and fills in the space, whether it's McGregor, whether it's Taylor narrowing off. Yeah. And again, it's just Campbell just runs off the back of the midfielder, and then
because that's what they've actually done really well in Europe, particularly Andy, when that first press has been beaten, they've all narrowed up really quickly and been hard to beat, but they've never done it Saturday. But fair play to Hibs, because it was a great goal.
What did you make of the goal, Maida's goal that got chopped off? The VAR intervened.
Embarrassing.
See, I think it's actually, I can understand 100% why Celtic would be frustrated, but I think that is a hard one, because again, you're like, it's just down to not having the technology. Because I can understand Rodgers saying that it's no factual, so you can't change it, but when you do look at the 18-yard camera, it looks over the line. So it's again, what do you do there? Do you go off of what the sort of camera's showing you, or it's because it's no fact? Yeah. But you don't have it. So I think it's a hard one. For me, I'd be wanting it to stand. If that's my team, I'd be wanting it to stand.
If the linesman's flagged it and it's a mistake for the linesman and during the time, or the referees gave it, but the fact that it's went to VAR to overturn it, You know, and again, I've seen so many pictures, you can't tell.
No conclusive in that.
So it's
why change it?
I can understand why Brendan was really angry about it, but
what's your take on it? You gonna?
No, exactly what you say. I've watched it so many times and I still can't tell. Genuinely, I can't. So there's no way that they should have got involved with that. No way.
What about did he go with the right team? Sorry, should he made more changes after Europe, or do you think he got his team right? I think it's tough for McGregor now to play 2 games in a week. He's played so many games of football. He must have played about 1,000 games of football, McGregor, now.
I think the worrying thing is the 3 players that came in.
No, they're the ones that come off at half time.
Come off at half time.
That's really worrying for them. Especially he did come in, obviously.
But you know yourself, mate. See when you're the 3 players, mate, and they've played so well, you're like, am I really going to need to go in here? And you just know it's going to go wrong, don't you?
To be fair, I think when he's changed it, it's worked. You know, throughout the season, he's had the trust in everybody so far. You know, and he's made changes. He brought ones come in the start, and they've handled it well. So you know, I think he's keeping the squad, giving them opportunities. So I don't think you could give him too much stick for that. The players hadn't handled the first half, but I think there was too many of them. You know, it's maybe the fallout for the Munich game. But
you ever have that when you played a big Champions League game and you went and lost a game that you probably should have?
Aye, definitely. It's actually you come from such a high down, and they still got the expectation and energy. You know what I mean? It does take a lot out of you.
Well, he done you dirty on the Cooper show as well, because he said that Celtic performance was the best he's ever seen in Europe. Thinking of some of the...
Just since 91.
No,
it wasn't. I never said that. Best since Seville. No, it was the biggest blow since Seville. I did say it, sorry.
No, he said it was your best ever.
Aye, that is my best performance.
To be fair, they were very good. They were very unlucky. I think I agree with him. I think it's one of their best performances, but no, in our team.
No, he said that was Celtic since he's been born.
But obviously, Jackie, when you're in the moment,
excited. When you born?
Wait, what was your best for that team? What was your best performance?
I'll be one that we won.
Away from home. He scored the volley.
Away from home. We talking away from home.
Liverpool maybe.
Liverpool away.
Oh.
Big John scored. You know. Wee Buddha. Blackburn away as well. They were a good side. Blackburn beat them in the way.
That was UEFA Cup run. I'm talking that the Champions League game. Ajax away.
Ajax away was a, you know, that was a great performance.
Did Pettis score that game?
He was flying that game, aye.
Did he?
That was a great game. Wee Bobby was class then for a couple of weeks. It was good. Wee Bobby was good.
Where did you play there?
He's still wearing the trackie for that game.
Still did laps of Glasgow. He's Celtic.
I was playing in midfield in the 3.
You?
Aye, I was playing in the midfield in the 3.
You got did you get fucked about quite a bit?
I get pushed everywhere. It didn't bother me as long as I was playing. But so that I played in centre midfield that night. Well, it was Lambo, Lenny, and myself.
Who would have been players in that Ajax team?
Van der Vaart, was he there now?
They were.
I think Avaladze might have played.
Avaladze was playing. To be fair, they were quality. To be fair, Van der Vaart, I'm sure, was playing.
Sure, Van der Vaart played.
That'd been.
You know where he went straight after that game, don't you?
Oh, red light.
Shota was definitely. Avaladze was definitely playing in that.
What would your preferred position be in that team? Right wing back, but Magat was he was on fire. Remember Magat was like the event?
In that team, I always wanted to play the 6.
Centre mid?
Yeah.
Did you?
Aye. He played me a couple of times. Martin, and I enjoyed playing in there in the 6 role.
That was Lenny, Lambert and Petrov in there.
Lenny's role, I've played it a few times. But to be honest, it didn't bother me. He played as left centre half and right centre half. It wasn't bothered. Or right wing, I played one game as a 10. No, a 10. But
you played 10?
Played a 10 one of the games, aye.
Good player, innit? You can play anywhere. See the UEFA Cup run, that's my favourite period as a Celtic fan.
He's always talking about favourites, innit?
No.
Favourite game.
Do you know why I said that?
Coming back round because he said
No,
about
do you know why I said that? That was incredible, that run, the one.
It was class, aye, it was good. Good times.
What was the sort of the best game or the biggest highlight for that run?
I don't know. The teams we beat in the way, they're obviously Liverpool away going down to Anfield. They were a good side. Blackburn again.
What did Souness say again? Did he not come out after the game?
Aye.
Envy boys.
In fairness, in that game, Blackburn were as I said, they were quality. Had right through their team. You actually looked at their team, two guys.
He was brilliant.
Cole and Dwight York up front. They were a good side, but he said, in fairness, they were really good at Celtic Park in the game, and we won 1-0. We were lucky, but we didn't want to lose the away goal at that point. But then we went down and battered them down there. 2-0.
Did Martin O'Neill use that in his team talk?
He didn't need to.
No, you just thought.
We all knew, but just.
Have you got a favourite team talk that he said?
The boys talk about it before, like the Porto game, Seville and all that, and I couldn't tell you what he said.
You're still shattered for John coming in your room.
4 in the morning, wee Buddha. No, again, I couldn't tell you what he said, his team talks, but that was his, same at Liverpool, you know, the boys were like the gaffer's team talk there. But I couldn't tell you what he said, but just like, you know what I mean, you want to war. What
was the game he's got knocked? Was it a penalty he's got against us, the angriest I've ever seen him? Was it away from home, Juventus?
That was Juve. Aye, the last year, but the boy dived.
Was that aneurysm? So it was.
Aye, Martin.
What was he like in the dressing room after that going off?
I've gone mad. But it's so the day before, so we used to fly the morning before, and I'm rooming with John. So we left early, and we get to the hotel, and check in with a couple of hours rest, and then we go to train the night before the game. So I said, right, go and have a couple of hours skip. And me and John fell asleep, and normally we get a wake up call. So the phone goes in the room, and it's like, it was the big security guy, George. Hey, we're going. Where are you? I said, up to us, got our training gear on, and the bus had gone. Martin had just gone without us. We jumped in the security guard, and we got to the stadium just before the bus, the team bus, and trained the night before. And Martin's kind of hiding with me and John's like right away through. Find the 2 years, and it took years later, and resumed the big John's thing. John got me to go back in. The gaffer's like, right, £400. I had to pay him to like take out the cash machine, give me £400 fine. John was £4,000. I was like, that's a ratio of wages that they're on it. But I didn't know. I couldn't tell him. I was like, fucking get fined, that nightmare.
That's amazing.
Big man is 4Gs.
I mean, just quickly, last bit on Hibs, like how much confidence boost will this give them as well on a unbeaten run, go and beat Celtic at home. Make them favourites for third now?
I think so.
Think so now, yeah.
They'll look so good, mate. They'll look so good. As I said, after the ball. The biggest problem I think for Hibs was they've always had the attacking players, but I think for the last even last season as well, the big problem was the amount of goals we're conceding, the amount of mistakes. They've eradicated that for their game, and with Boyle and was the young boy you were talking about earlier? Bowie. They two are just unbelievable up front. They really are. The amount of problems they cause, so I think they're third place, nailed on.
Yeah. Oh, nailed on, he's went.
Don't know if I should have said that.
Chat you back in, David Gibbs with good books, isn't he?
Hearts will be up there as well tonight. They're a right good run as well, Hearts.
Yeah.
Aberdeen now 1-2 in a row again, so I think it's going to be a good race. Third, top six, obviously relegation playoffs, whatever it'll be, it's going to be close.
Aberdeen's, I know they've had the two but scrappy wins, whereas Hearts and Hibs are actually playing well and winning. It makes such a difference, doesn't it? See, when you're playing well and winning, you actually think you're going to... See, with Aberdeen, you almost feel like a defeat could come next week easily, couldn't it? Was it a set piece they scored against?
91 minutes they scored.
91 minutes as well, Again, putting Rocky into a back three has been... Yeah, so much better with two guys next to him, isn't he?
I think even just the fact that Hibs have stood by him, Gray, you know what I mean? They could have panicked earlier on in the season when they were down the bottom. You know, it's good that they've given him that support, and fair play to him, he's turned it round.
Where do you stand in this? Like, the manager said, I'm not going to change. He has changed, didn't he? So he started to do it in a certain way, and everyone says, didn't change your philosophy, didn't change your style. He done it, and it's worked in his favour, isn't it?
100%. You need to change, you need to adapt, you need to change your ways of doing it.
Would you think
you win?
I think style can kind of stay the same, can it? But I think, like you said, being adaptable, he's went for a 4-4-2, a 5-3-2 to make them a wee bit more solid, and I think defensively he's been the big one. I think they've been good under him going forward for the most part. But I think defensively they look miles better, miles more solid. I think the boy Iredale's helped going left centre half as well.
Yeah.
Carden or a beater, whoever plays that sort of left wing back role. So I think they've got good players in good positions, and I think changing that's been good for them.
And said it, did it without their captain as well, who's probably their best player, Neil.
Aye.
You'll find it hard to get back in.
Yeah, definitely. Tiago is good, isn't he?
Ah, mate, brilliant.
Yeah, it's good.
You're slagging me for...
No. Just chatting.
Right, just that last wee bit in the European with Balde and Motta in the tunnel as well. You involved?
with
Barcelona.
Thiago Motta.
Aye, a big Bobo. Aye. Well, I wasn't involved in the fight. I was involved in going through to the referee's room at half time. They called it, came into your dressing room and called me out, and then into Barcelona to take Puyol into his room, and then he sent.
Big Rab, was it?
I didn't know it was Rab, because I was like that, and he said the Barcelona one first, which was Motta, I think it was number 4, red card. Then he turned to me and you're number 20, and I couldn't think who 20 was, because you think number 1. I was like, it didn't dawn on me it was Big Rab until I went back in, and the gaffer Martin was at the tactics board, you know, just as you come into the dressing room, and where I sit was a couple of rows in on the right, and I'm just looking round, and I was like to Big Rab, you're off. He sent Rab off. Martin was going fucking meant, what? I went, he sent Rab off. And he's like, for fuck's sake, you know.
Who came on at half time?
Was it Hedwin?
Marsh.
Oh, Marsh,
he was unbelievable. And the return game, he used worldies. That's what made, I've not made, he was always going to make it, Marsh, but that's what started his career, was Big Bobo getting sent off. And,
yeah, we worked the games,
Rab
but see, looking Marsh, like, and I was thinking, he must be shitting himself, man. Is that his debut?
Aye.
His debut at Barcelona at half time. See, just had the young boys coming through, who impressed you? Maloney.
Sean McGiddy. Yourself, you got to say yourself.
No, fucking definitely not me. Was McGiddy, how good was McGiddy as a kid when he first broke in?
He was good. He had great feet. He 1v1s, you'd have to smash him. The other one, Fozzie.
Mark Fothergill, my mate.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
He tried the 1v1s. Martin used to love a wee 1v1s or 2v2s. I think he was up, I don't know if it was Tomo or Henrik.
Do you know Megan?
No, he tried the
rainbow flick.
The rainbow flick with Henrik or something. He's fucking smash. Don't do that again, like senior players. You know what I mean?
Hold his brass into it.
1v1s, but aye, we had done a great feat. 1v1s.
He was very good, wasn't he?
So I know we spoke a bit about him, but just Larsson, like, how good. Best player you played at Celtic?
Henrik, aye.
By a mile?
Let's say by a mile. I mean, Moravcik was close, and different players, different abilities. McStay, I'd probably be. And just behind that, he was class. He was, because I'd grown up watching McStay, and I think when you're a young player and you come into a team like that, even though he was struggling, he was coming to the end of his career, and his ankles were knackered, but he just controlled the speed. That's how he's called a maestro. He could speed it up, slow it down, but until you're actually in the game and playing in the same team as him, and you're like, wow, he's special. You know, I mean, he could have
top level.
Aye, for me, and again, I'm playing him at the latter stages of his career, but you just see it. It was class.
That popped up the other day when Moravcik sat on the ball. Remember it?
What a fitter player.
Remember he didn't put him in the Celtic's best ever 11, mind, forgot.
No,
did you?
No.
Moravcik didn't know him?
Wow.
No, it was a strange one. We had to put in like different
put Petter instead of, didn't he, wide left?
No way. See, Jackie, see when that Seville, the final, was that the lowest you've ever seen a dressing room after a game?
It was. I've had a couple of bad. That was probably. I actually felt worse the one at Motherwell.
I was going to say that was the worst dressing room.
The last day the game should have been wrapped up at half time. When you'd have chance after chance after chance, or 1-0 up. Then the wee guy McDonald scored one for nowhere over his shoulder, and then they get another breakaway. But that was a sore one.
See the UEFA Cup final, you never started, did you?
No, came on for.
When did he tell you that?
An hour and a half for the game.
Do you think you were playing? Wasn't sure?
I wasn't sure. I think maybe bits there, certain games you think, but you always had to prepare, because he could throw a few spanners in. He just took it over, because there was one time I'd been out of the team for a wee while. I think it was 9 games, and we're away in Valencia away, and he's like right back into the back four. It's like an hour and a half for again. I'm like that, you know, in your mind you're thinking, I've not played for 9 games. And like, am I fit? And against the near danger guy was wee guy Ficenti, the left winger.
I remember what I've had.
I thought, he set me up here. You know what I mean? In your mind, you're like, I can't, because if you don't do well, you could be another 9 weeks or 9 games before you play. It wasn't until I got myself back into the. It was after the Boa Vista game. we beat Villa Vista, it was Beach Ball Sunday. He went back to a back four against Rangers for the first time against them, and that was, we went on a good run against them.
At least your prep against Porto was good with a bit, anyway.
I know, it's probably better you wouldn't have played that game, you'd be fucked.
The gaffer wouldn't have known that, though. You wouldn't have known,
Did he go straight into a 3-5-2, Martin O'Neill, as soon as he came into Celtic?
Yeah.
Straight away?
Straight away.
And he'd only change it for certain games?
It wasn't until later on.
It, man.
He didn't change it for quite a while, that's what I'm saying. Because Rangers, the wee Indian sign at one point was when they played the 4-3-3 in between the centre backs. Then he went back to a back four, and we won quite a few in the bounce after that.
Did Sutton though send somebody down to the bank machine in Brigton? Was it after he'd left? Henshaw, was it? Did he not send him down to a bank machine in Brigton? He just signed for Celtic the next day. He asked where he could get a bank, and he said just walked in that way through Brigton.
But I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest. He's a guy.
What about your own any individual performances in Europe that you thought was your best?
The Liverpool one that scored was a turning point for us with Vim, because he said at the start of the season he didn't want his fullbacks, and started the first two games, lost the first two games of the season. Henrik gave it, remember the Easter Road?
Charlie, wasn't it?
The 10 in a row season, and then I found myself further up the park. It's the only time I played that position in my career at Celtic, right midfield, right wing.
What about best you played against? I like this, because there was some big. Remember Villarreal team? Remember him? Penna and what was the wee midfield player? He's brilliant.
Was Riquelme playing?
Riquelme. I've had a few downs. We Julie at Barcelona gave us a tough game.
A wee French guy.
I said, I said to him, who's the best you've played against? And there's Ronaldinho. But he wasn't up against me. He was against a guy. I was left back that night.
And
I'd come on and played for Scotland. Came on against France with Zidane. And I said to my son that normally I would came down to right, we were playing, came on at right midfield the second half, and I've normally took the ball on the man. I think we're 4-0 down at the time, so I've ran to Zidane. I thought it's him. I can't go take him out, do the crab and take the ball, the man in the ball. So I've just kind of started.
You stopped because it was Zidane?
I slowed down, and he went like that, and I was like to my boy, I said, he made the ball disappear. And the whole Stade de France went, I was like, you bastard. I could have done you there. And he's passed it back to Lizarazu. I went over and smashed him and got a yellow card because it was like
raging.
And I said to my boy, and the wee bugger found it on YouTube. He'd done that, but he drags it and then drags it there, and I've just feel like, where's the ball? But these guys were different level.
He's the best ever. The best ever midfielder for me, Zidane.
6'2", touch.
Moves like a winger.
Iniesta gave him a torrid time at the Bernabeu. You ever seen that game, the highlights?
Zidane was
what age was Zidane, mate?
He was 40 or so.
He actually changed his game because of Moravcik. He used to be a 6.
Who, Zidane?
Aye. He loved Lubo.
Because was it Marseille?
He played against him. Lubo was a 10, and he thingied there in Moravcik. I'd be like, wow. I mean, we obviously heard the stories. Same way.
I know, but who told you that? It was me Lubo that told you that, wasn't it?
Same with Cantona when we're playing in Giggs testimonial. Liam Miller, but bless him. He went up to Cantona, Ryan Giggs. He's like, no, I want Moravcik. Lubo's aye. So although we didn't know him, but over there he was.
How did Lubo fit in a Martin O'Neill team? Because he hated wee tricky players.
I know.
Remember Juninho? He hated Juninho, didn't he? Juninho was trying to take quick free kicks and that, man. He wanted the ball fucking leathered into the box, remember?
Lubo just, you couldn't know. Do you know what I mean?
Was he not 35 or something when he said he was old,
33, but you wouldn't know he was 33. But if you're doing 1v1s, you couldn't get near him. You couldn't get near the ball either. He would chop you, and the ball would be the other side, so you couldn't get near it.
Am I right to see that team? Did you go out quite a bit? You were in Edinburgh, weren't you? You used to travel back
to that a wee bit. No,
Lennon and Larsson, though. I remember seeing them out in trash, mate. Larsson and trash, mate, eh?
Lennon and trash, brilliant.
Oh, he loved
the leather jacket.
The leather jacket.
Lennon in the cat house.
In the cat house. But they would be out quite a bit now.
I think we weren't in Europe, we had a good social.
Was O'Neill no brilliant for days off?
Hibs not bad. Aye.
Have you got a big one?
I think if
4 days?
wee bits he would give us days off and stuff, he was good that way. Rest and recovery. It was good.
Remember how good it was when the first team were off? Do you know that feeling?
Oh, I
don't know what they were saying about. You just so relaxed with it.
So relaxed.
You weren't getting caned for a day, but it was fucking brilliant, man.
See, was Martin O'Neill's training like boxes and games every day?
Aye, Wally and Robbo took it. It wasn't just boxes and games. It was just all different stuff. But it was good. He's training Wally.
And did he turn up to training Martin O'Neill?
No, as I said earlier, just a Tuesday and a Friday maybe.
But John Robertson and Steve Walford would be taking it, but they would join in as well, wouldn't they?
Aye, they'd join in young, the old and all that. And aye, Robbo was quality.
He was brilliant, wasn't he? What age would he have been then? He just smoked constantly, wasn't he?
So the two of them, same with Wally. But they were brilliant guys, man.
Amazing.
Jack, can I ask you, we don't need to put this in if you don't want, but you had a health scare, it was a couple of years ago. How are you feeling now?
5, aye, I'm alright now. Touch wood, that was 5 years. Just at the start of it's mental how quickly. So I thought I was 46 at the time, healthy at the gym on the Thursday and running the curve, so I was still getting to level 16 in the curve machine, and a couple of days later I just went out for a walk and it felt unwell and collapsed and brain hemorrhage. So
and then what, next time you wake up you're in hospital?
I kind of came through and there's an ambulance in the area. I was in the ambulance, just wondering what's going on. I didn't know what happened. I just thought I'd had a stroke or something, and then obviously it is a kind of a stroke. Then I get rushed blue light to the hospital and scan, but I'm in and out of consciousness then to the hospital in Hull, the neurosurgery, the neuro specialist, and then I had to wait to, that was the Saturday afternoon, wait till the Monday morning, because they could have went in right away and opened my skull up and clamped the aneurysm, but they done it on the Monday through my groin, and then that went wrong, which had another bleed, and then they put me in a coma for 24 hours.
Fucking hell.
At that point it was kind of touch and go. So I was in hospital for quite a while, learning to do everything again, walk and do everything, memory. It was just like starting again. It's weird.
You look great now, mate.
Cheers. Aye, so I'd been back, had a shunt put in which controls all the fluid in the head into the stomach, and then a stent put in a year later to divert away from that. So I'm actually just take aspirin now for the rest of my days, but not bad.
Look healthy now.
That's look great,
handsome guy, isn't he?
Sexy, man.
See, when you were the best looking man.
Cheers, mate.
We always used to sniff your scants after training. Who were you tightest with in that team? Buddha?
In the Martins team? I would say between John, because I remember John and wee David Fernandez.
Oh, you said I through Edinburgh?
Yeah, he was a great wee guy. David,
player as well.
good lad.
Is that the one that was at Livy as well?
Aye,
Okay.
good, he was a good. He was a good player, but he didn't. Again, it's probably one of the hardest positions to come into our team. You know what I mean? With Henrik and Sutty and John. You know, where you're going to get a chance to play, or how often you get a chance. But he was a good wee guy, David.
Aye, he was a great player.
But
I can't believe you don't manage now, mate.
I
can't believe you don't manage.
You missed that still now?
do you know what? I miss the dressing room. You know, nothing beats being a player. See if I could be a player again. That's the best time. The management, I had a wee spell. I enjoyed the wee bits at Thistle and all the kids were starting to play. United, there was a spell that I was like a wee boy myself. I was looking forward to a Saturday. I think we'd scored 4 goals in a row. It's like 7 games or something. You know, every week, every game it was like 4, 4, 4. With all the young boys playing the way I wanted to play, attacking football, and it just gets taken away. And it's funny because I was watching you the other with wee Spittle the other week here, and the first thing you say is about the transfers with my contract, because that's always having to defend myself there, because the previous managers, what they were getting, I knew going into the Dundee United job what the task was. How it's like when you're going in to take the job for Partick Thistle to there and say, like, you've got 5 years, here's what we need to do in 5 years, we've got just under 7 million debt, how are you going to do it? How could you get rid of that in 5 years? So was we go in the first, and nobody talks about the first team we had, which was John Daly, Johnny Russell, I lost day 2 after I went in the end of January, and they both went. Johnny went to Derby for I think 750 grand, and Big John went to Rangers. That was 34 goals at my team. How do you replace it with no money? And you had to take the budget down $500,000 from the previous manager and team. So we did it. I got Nadir Chifsey on trial, who hadn't done it.
Was that through Van Hooydonk?
Big Pierre said to me, have a look at this guy. He was fighting me his last manager. I can understand why. But he was a talent. He was a talent.
So how do you watch him, Jackie? Just on videos?
I brought him in trial. I brought him in trial. I signed, and I'm talking about there, Andy Robertson and Aidan Conley for Queen's Park for $5,000.
Can you remember when you first seen Robertson? Did you go watch him?
We played against him with Partick Thistle, so I was wanting to take him to Partick Thistle before I took the Dundee United job. And I watched him. I was like on the front foot, wee skinny boy, just like him. And when he signed, one of the directors at United, he's like, the two boys are getting unveiled, me, Aidan and Andy. He's like, the fans are emails in saying they're not renewing their season books and they'll come to watch Queen's Park players. And then you fast forward 1 year, how can you sell them? It's there, and it was tough. I mean, as I said, that wee bit with Balde and John Suter coming through, and I was enjoying it because you're watching young boys coming through and learning and getting an opportunity to play, and they were exciting to watch or great to work with. But then when they're taken away, it's demoralising a wee bit, and you having to go in again. So it was at the end of that following season. So then Stu and Gaz went to Celtic in the January, then Nadir went to Celtic in the summer. So that's your front three players. 23 goals for Nads. How do you replace it? And then it's again, can you go and do it again? Can you go and to fairness, if I had my time again, I would have walked as soon as my contract was released in the media. I should have just
left in.
But I thought I didn't want to leave my staff or the players at the time. I thought I could maybe go and try and do it again, but it became an impossible. Just what you're talking about, the Clement. Once it goes past a certain point, it's difficult to win that back, the trust, or so you've lost that game. It's difficult.
Was Golden Suter brilliant? Do you see
Goldie was class. I'm surprised it's taken him so long, the wee man. I know he's been away to different countries. Andy was just, every day he was on it. Just give you got that mental toughness. Goldie was brilliant to watch. John Suter was, again, like maybe a Rolls Royce at 16. He could do all the stuff, his head's up, he can see everything he needed to work and get to learn the game, and obviously the physicality, hitting the ball, which he now does. He's been very unfortunate with injuries, John.
16 you put him in?
I played, honestly, it was semi-final against Lenny with Celtic, and I'd played John at 16 before by McLean, because I thought he's not going to be scared, because they're not scared. Young kids are not scared. There comes a point when they are, and they start thinking about it.
Yeah.
And it was right in front of us and I'm standing at the Hampden, you're a miles away from everybody, and Lenny's that side, and he does a back heel, his last man. He's right in front of me, and I'm like that. I'm sick. I'm like shite myself. It was an unbelievable game, but again, that's what I liked about it, because they've not experienced, they've not got the fear put into them, get in the corner and smash it out the park. You want them to go and learn and play the right way, and I think when you lose that, as I said, that the last sort of 6 months, I kind of lost it. I lost that.
Not many managers put boys in at 16 now.
No, well,
it's in a half.
Centre half, mate.
That's what I was going to say. Jackie's obviously a good one to ask you. We talk quite a lot about youth football now in Scotland, and why isn't it the same pathway like it was when you were a manager, or even before when you were a player? Why do you think, in terms of Scotland now, that we're not bringing through the same amount of youth players as we were?
Fear. Jobs, fear to losing our jobs, fear to the whole game is based in fear. I wasn't scared to lose my job to play young players, because I knew it was the right thing for the football club. It's difficult for manager of Celtic and Rangers to go and play a young kid to learn the basics or learn the wee bits, but for other teams in the league, you see it. Hats off to Motherwell, you play wee boy Miller, Lennon Miller, and fantastic. He's getting an opportunity, but what he's learned in the last season, how he's came on, and I think it's refreshing that he's stayed there and that he's getting the games. I think that's the best thing for the kids, is to play. It's hard for Rangers and Celtic to have their talent there. When your young kids coming through, you need somewhere to go and learn. Like Callum McGregor went to Notts County to go and play. So you need to play against men. You need to be in an environment where you're getting tested, and I think that's the difficulty that most teams, you don't have. You know, you have a bad month. We're just talking about Hibs there. You know, if David Gray was wanting to play a few young boys coming through and they're under pressure, and he's at Hearts, you know, when they're bringing young ones, wee boy Wilson's had a chance at Hearts, you know, like, right, they've kept him in, which is fair play. But when you're not winning games, it's the first thing everybody turns to. It's like, you know, the experience, but you need to grow it.
How do we get rid of that feeling so we can produce more?
The only way we'll do it is changing the leagues.
Think so, mate.
But they'll never
did.
I've said it for before I was playing. You know, making the leagues bigger and taking away the pressure of that, or
see, if everyone's saying it, why does it not happen?
I know.
Did I get it?
Well, I think they've got the fear of losing the TV deals or the Sky money with the 4-0 firm games, but you can still structure it where that happens. I think I seen something today where, like, I think the Greek leagues, maybe 16 teams. I think it's split into like the top 6 and then the bottom 10 or whatever it is, and then they still keep the sort of 4 league games. But that's the big thing for me. It's a restructure of the full pyramid.
You've seen the last World Cup and everything. The best players were the young'uns.
Yeah.
Spain, you know, all the way right through. It's you know, it's changing now. Other leagues they're playing them, but for us it's.
What age do you make your debut, mate?
I was 18.
18.
Which that was young then.
Was it? That was young.
It's different. I think now, like, you know, at 18, if you're not ready, you're under pressure to have a career, and that's the horrible side of the game. The kids there, there's no. It's hard to get them games and opportunity.
Last wee bit, Motherwell. Sorry to bring it up, mate.
Hi, Andy boy. How's you?
I was hoping you'd skip that bit.
How is the new manager, mate?
Really good, mate. I was talking to Si. I was talking to Si about it before. 3 training sessions we've had, but in the 3 days it was dead clear on how certain things he wants to change. In terms of the game at the weekend there, I think the boys try to implement exactly what they wanted as soon as you possibly can and how much you can in 3 sessions, and we had the performance, to be fair, but obviously no the result. But you're at that stage of the season where you don't even care about performances anymore. It's just all about the results at the stage you're at. But obviously going into another couple of days session before the game on Wednesday against Dundee, it's definitely optimistic. So I was saying to Si, second half I thought, really good. Dundee United obviously in a good place and good stage of the season as well, but it was a tight sort of nothing game, and then obviously they get the goal and they win the game.
Good header, wasn't it?
There was a great header, aye.
Why in that, by the way?
Aye.
Isn't he?
It's a great delivery for the boy. It's a strain.
Aye.
It's a great delivery.
Again, it's, you know, you can argue if it's true or no, but a lot of people do say you're only as good as your strikers. And Dalby's a massive part of the reason Dundee are where they are, because you're relying on them scoring so many big goals.
And it's double sessions, quite a lot of double sessions.
His first day was a single, double gym. Second day was double pitch, single gym. But again, I think that was important at that stage in time as well, because it was three days he was in before the first game.
I seen him talking to you, one of the other players. Was it on the pitch? Was that before the game, or
Lennon, it was me and Lennon.
Just going over what he wanted for you, obviously in the middle of the pitch.
I think he wants to have more control of games. Obviously we've been more of a team that kind of, not sat off a game, but kind of allowed teams to have possession certain areas of the pitch to try and win it back. But he wants to be the one that he wants us to control more games, steal the ball high. Obviously if you steal the ball high, straight away you're going to try and score goals. And again, it's going to take time, that's the thing, but the hard part about this stage of the season is we've not got time, we need to win games. So
how's this feeling? I'm going to come and watch your game against Dundee on Wednesday. Dundee lost 3-1 to Ross County at the weekend.
Wow. They
look like to me the team that are really struggling just now, Dundee.
Don't say that, cut that bit. Cut that bit, because we play them on Wednesday.
But Dundee, they're struggling to get results now, Dundee, aren't they? No only getting beaten, but it seems like quite big losses as well.
Yeah, they've lost a few goals. You know, they've done a great job last year, Tony Doak, but you know, he lost Luke McCowan, a big loss for him, but they can't be seen to defensively, which is unlike him. But maybe want to put that right.
Ross County are flying as well, man.
Again, the wee boy Chilvers again.
Last week you called it.
Good player, isn't he?
Brilliant, that boy at the weekend.
He was good against you, Andy, wasn't he?
Good, aye. Him and Hale. But again, they were just like, I think we had something like 6. I'm talking about we've not really been a possession-based team all season. I think we've been the lowest in the league in terms of average possession. We had 69% possession against Ross County. but that was their style. That's the way they set up. They were happy for us to have it, be defensive, be compact, be a block and try and win it, and hit Chilvers quickly, hit Hale quickly, and they've been flying. Actually, what was it, 18 months they hadn't won an away game? They won 4 of the last 5 away.
Mad. Simon Murray.
Mate, he scores. What a goal it is, I know. But
That's
he stopped his celebration.
I know, he stopped doing it. That's when they started going like that. Just quickly, was there ever any players that done United that you were close to signing that never went and have went on and done really well?
Yeah, John McGinn. Although Stephen said I didn't want him. I was like, seen that, and he was on there was people texting me. I was trying to get John before he went to Hibs.
Were you a face it man?
Aye. Although Stephen said I didn't want him for some reason. I was just pushing to get him. He said it was the other one he said. Jackson Irvine, but I wasn't after Jack. I didn't know about Jackson Irvine. He just said that one, but I was trying to get John Murray pre-season.
How close were you to getting him?
The problem was that St Mirren were in the Championship at the time, and then they were wanting one of the players to go the other way. So obviously the salary between the Championship and the Premier League was, we're going to have to pay a bit to one of the players to go to make up the wage. That was the stumbling block. And then before we knew it, he'd signed with Hibs. But he was one.
He'd been a belter.
And now Jackie, agent now. How's that?
Well, worked with agency. I enjoy it. It's just
must be stressful, mate, is it not?
No, not stressful as
What's
managing.
stressful about that?
Not stressful as managing.
All the other agencies try to steal your players.
It's the same as being a manager. Just steal your players when they're doing well as well, and then you get blamed for it. No, I enjoy it. I enjoy the wee bits when out watching all different games now, and it's you're no tied. You know, it's no consuming. Is what the management is.
If you were his agent, Jackie, what would you say to him?
Oh, to be honest, I would have sorted him out.
Would you think?
I honestly, I think when you look at there with young lads and sometimes you need, only if they want it. See if they want it and they want to listen and you want to take advice to maximise your career and opportunities. I think I would have sorted them out.
Got the superstar, Ben Doak.
Oh, wow, that gives you a insight into how that came about.
I went to watch him 15.
Is that what you did? You got under 15?
No, I'd go all round, to be honest. All round, I think.
Were you going there particularly to watch him or just see him by chance?
I was at that point, and then I went away to watch him with Scotland 17s. But everybody was trying to get him. And then I signed with him. He signed with us, and then obviously Celtic. And they were trying to get him to extend and stay. Ange had put him in a couple of times, but I think if he'd kept him in and kept him in the first team, the problem is that we were just talking about, if you're not in the first team and they need something in between that, you know, to get the boys to go. No disrespect to the lower league and yourself, but I think when you're at a certain level, it's stimulation. You need to go and play and be tested. Like, so there's somewhere else that the boys can go if they're not in the first team. But I think if they kept him in at that point, he might have wanted to stay.
He's been flying at Motherwell as well, and he's
injured now, but I think he's special. I think he's. When I watched him here with Scotland, and I watched him, all my pals that I'll not play for it. I went, you will. Said he's got it. He's special.
How proud are you when he goes and does that?
I watched him with Scotland, the 17s went into England, and I just sit there and you know what he's going to, even there's like a small space and there's two guys up against him, and you just, that determination, and you actually just laugh because it's, you know, he's got to, just determination. And obviously the Croatia game he was unbelievable. But again, it doesn't matter if it's that guy or 16-year-old he's playing against or reserve game. It doesn't matter to him. It's just he treats it the same, and I think boys like him are a dying breed that have that confidence, and they're not a robot. They want to go and make something happen, and that's why you go and watch football.
So do you need to go and speak to Klopp?
Eh?
Did you need to go and speak to Klopp?
No, I met him when he'd signed, that was all, but no, I don't speak to the managers about their stuff. Is
it like sporting directors or something like that?
When they're signing, yeah, you deal with them. They're obviously, the managers are separate from that.
How was Klopp alright?
Brand new, huh?
Did Crystal Palace not put a 30 million bid in for Doak in January?
No, they put a bid in for him, but it wasn't
Not as much.
Not as much. But
he'll play for Liverpool. Maybe no the new Stala there in front of him, but he'll be the future for Liverpool. My God, what a player!
Did you had McGregor for a bit, didn't you? Cal McGregor.
Yeah, aye. Luke McCowan in the summer.
But did you do Luke McCowan's deal to Celtic?
Yeah, we've been looking after Luke since he was at Ayr years ago. So it was good because I'd met him. We took him at one of the Champions League games years ago. It's like you could play at this level, and then obviously went to Dundee, done well at Dundee, and then in the summer he moved. Which was, you see his wee face when he comes out, and that's brilliant. You know.
So how close was he going to Hibs?
Hibs obviously were in for him, but Celtic were sort of wanting him as well. But it was nothing, done at the time or anything. It was just all last minute. So it was like, for him, it was like the same as I was a wee boy leaving Dunfermline, to go to Celtic, and that in the last minute of the window, you see his face come out, and it's just a dream come true for him, and that's...
Is that the best part? So you get a phone call from Celtic saying we want to take McCowan now, then do you get to make that phone call to tell him it?
Yeah, it was back, because we thought it was off, and then it was back on, and it was all last, because it was too rushed. It was all last minute. Obviously they signed other ones in that day. So that's...
What did he say when you told him?
No, because I think he thought it was off, and he was going back up to Dundee, and then it's like, right, you need to turn the car, we're going back to Celtic Park to sign your medical.
He's been brilliant this season as well.
He's good, he's a great boy, It's
met him a couple of times, he's a good boy.
And that's the good part of the job, when you see that they get a chance to go and do that and live their dream.
Amazing.
He's done very well.
This has been a bit of a Celtic podcast for you, but I'm sitting here.
That's alright, that's fine.
Fergie's in charge. Fergie's in charge, it'll be alright.
It's a new era.
Their time will come when the 69ers get involved, don't you?
Jackie McNamara, incredible. Thanks so much.